Hello guys, and welcome to this tutorial. And today we're going to create this soft looking neomorphic text effect in Adobe Illustrator. And I'll show you 3 ways on how to achieve this, and also tell you one by one how it is done and which among those 3 is going to be the perfect choice for you. All right, let's begin. I'm going to quickly add a background and center align it. And now it's white currently. I'm going to make it grayish, something like this. And I'm going to lock it. Okay, now I'm going to add text, and I'm going to write the word soft. I'm going to make it big, change the text, change the font, and make it slightly bigger. I'm going to align it, put it here. The next thing is to change its color, and I'm going to match it with the background. This is very important, but I'm not going to do it from here, from the fill and stroke, the default one. I'm going to set it to none, and I'm going to come here on the right hand side to the appearance panel. And I'm going to add a fill from here. And I will change this color to that of the background. So it has a stroke applied to it. I'm going to remove it. So we have our text here. It's not visible at the moment because of the same color. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 fills to it. And I'm going to add here from the appearance panel. Or I can select this one. Since I want it to be of the same color, I'm going to add plus, which is basically duplicating it. So we have 2 fills now, all right? To the fill that is below, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go here in the FX and up here in the stylize, and I'm going to add a drop shadow. So it's visible now. Currently, it's at 75 opacity. I'm going to bring it down to 40%, and I'm going to put the offset around 12 and the blur to about 15. I'm going to reduce it just a slight bit. I'm going to make it to 13. This is fine. And I'm going to press OK. And now to the fill above. Okay, so I've applied a drop shadow to this one. And to the fill above, I'm going to again add a drop shadow. But I'm going to set it up in a different way. So this is another one. First of all, I'm going to choose screen. And I'm going to choose the color to be white. I'm going to press OK. But I'm going to push it in the completely opposite direction. So the shadow right now that's already applied is going in this direction, which is towards the right on the X and towards the bottom on the Y. I'm going to push it upwards on the Y and to the left. And that we can do simply by putting a minus sign here. And that should do the trick. So the white one is visible here. Let's see if we put it to normal. It's pretty much the same. I'm going to press OK. So this in itself gives it a very soft fill. If you move around, it looks as if it's glued to the surface below. But the thing to notice is that here, the borders, I'm going to kind of lock it for the moment. So what you can notice here is that these edges are quite sharp. A proper neomorphic text would never have such sharp edges and would have that sort of soft end, just like these shadows that looks kind of soft. And that is what we're going to work on next and achieve that softness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock it first of all, and I'm going to make 2 copies of it so that we would be able to see side by side how things are changing. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one as such. I'm not going to change it. I can push it a little bit upwards, and I'm going to lock it again. So this is one that's the least refined, but still it gives the effect of neomorphism. And basically what we really want to achieve is that to make these edges soft. Now there can be multiple ways to do it, but primarily I'm going to talk about 2, and I'm going to draw 2 boxes here to show you what I mean. And in fact, I'm going to move this downward since I'll apply whatever I'm going to demonstrate here on this one. And I'm going to apply the effects that I'm going to demonstrate on this text. So basically, the first way to blur the corners is to go here in the effects and go in the blur and apply Gaussian blur. Now notice what happens when I increase the value of the radius. So as you can see, the corners are getting blurred, and that is what we want. It's getting transitioned from the main color that's on the inside, and it's softening the edges by making it blurred. But what you can notice also is that the blur is going outside the border. The blue edge, which is the defined shape, it's going outside the border of this blue line. So what that means is when I'll apply the Gaussian blur on this text, the edges here would flow outwards, which means it would cover the black area of the shadow, which might not look, kind of that fancy that we want to have the effect properly applied on it with the blur stretching over the black area or the shadow area. But still, we'll try and work around with it and see what happens. Okay. And the second method is to go up here again in the effects and come down in stylize and apply feather. Now, when I increase the feather value, let's say I increase the radius, what we can notice is that it remains within the border. It blurs just like the Gaussian blur, but it remains well within the border. And the edges are a bit better defined compared to the Gaussian blur, where it gets really, really blurry. So this is the difference between two. We can see it has sharper edges and the corners kind of get softer. And here it gets truly soft and blurred. So we're going to use these properties and see what kind of effect that we can create. Now let's first work with this one. So I'm going to select this. And since we are working it through the appearance panel, we need to apply the blur through this. I'm going to try to apply the blur in two ways. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to add a fill, and it's already of the same color. And to this fill, which means we have the color layer pasted right on top. This is the order of hierarchy. To this fill that is on the top, I'm going to go here in the FX and I'm going to apply the Gaussian blur and see what's going to happen. And we already have a very high value, and I'm going to push it real down so you can see that this grayish color is right on top. And when I push it to really high value, we can see this grayish color is going to overflow the edges of the letters. And in this way, it creates kind of this weird look where we have, because of the blur, there are some edges that are still dark, and at some point it looks kind of whitish, and here it's almost dissolved on the curve of the S. Here on the O it's almost dissolved, nothing is visible, but here on the edges it's still very sharp and clear. So applying a Gaussian blur to text right on top is not that sweet to make it look, have that soft feeling of transition to give it this neomorphic feel. Even if I reduce the value so that the black area is visible and the corners are somewhat better, looking than this, I'm going to press OK. We can notice that this one is a little bit softer than this one, but still the edges are very sharp. So I'm going to select this again, and I'm going to delete this blur. I can actually push it downwards, but I'm going to delete this so that it won't create any confusion. And I'm also going to remove this fill since we don't need it. And if I click on this right on top where it says type, if I apply any effect, it would apply to the whole thing. So I'm going to go here in the FX, blur, Gaussian blur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften the whole text. Since the shadows are already kind of soft, if I apply a bit more blur to it, it's not going to matter, but it would really help us to soften these edges. So now we're going to try different values and see what's going to work. So you got to start from low and start noticing how it changes as we push it up. And here we can see there is a slight blur that's going to show up now. And if we push it real hard, whoops, way too soft. Here it's way too blurred, basically, simply not making any sense. Here it kind of makes some sense. We can see if we push it back to 5, it's kind of still sharp. But if we begin to push it to the values of around 7 or 8, it kind of looks soft. I'm going to press OK. And this does give us some softness to the edges of the letter compared to the one that's up here. And now we're going to do the same with this one, but using the feathers. So I'm going to add a fill on top of this one. And to this, I'm going to go here in the FX and I'm going to apply in stylize feather. Now we have a very high value of 22. And we know that when we apply feather, it goes inwards. We can notice here. So we need to reduce this value so that the transition is somewhere around here. And there is one more thing that I can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change its color so that we can see in real time how the feather is affecting it. So I'm going to select this fill and I'm going to go back here in stylize and I'm going to press on feather. And now you can see it, how the feather is getting applied. So the value of 22 is very high because it's pushing the color way too inwards. Let's start with 3 and see how it looks. I'm going to press tab. So we can see it's kind of the same. There isn't much any difference. 4, 5, 6, we can see it slowly begins to kind of feather. Now I think this 10, 11 is fine because here now we can see that from red it transitions to the outwards. But we also have run into a problem that it's all inside. Now that's not that difficult to manage. I'm going to press OK. So we have this feather applied. Now to push it a little bit outwards, we simply need to offset it. I'm going to go here in FX and up here in the path and press offset path. And now we can push it outwards. Just make sure to select the fill. I forgot to do that. Just to this fill, the one that's on top, go here in the FX and in the stylize and in the path and press offset path. And now we can see that how far we want to push it. I'm going to make it to round and I'm going to reduce the value. And here we can see it's inside. So you're going to slowly push it outwards until it covers the layer below, just at the borders. Well, I think somewhere around should be fine. I'm going to push it to 9. I'm going to press OK. And now since it's touching one another, we can select this text and go in the properties and increase the value of tracking. And I'm going to push it to, let's say 25 or even 50. And we can put in a custom value of, let's say 35. I think 50 was fine. So I'm going to push it to 40 so that doesn't touch it, just to make sure that we are able to see the effect properly. Once we do that, and I'm going to change its color back to the same grayish color because now we understand what's really happening here. And now we can see what's happening. And it's going to take a bit more refinement here. So I'm going to select it. And if I zoom in, now here you can see that I'm going to lock it. And here you can see still there are edges of the border that are visible. We need to make it soft. So we can do that by increasing the value of the feather a little bit and also by changing the value of the offset. So I need to unlock it, of course. I've locked it. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open, I think it's going to be this one, the one on top. And in the appearance panel, I'm going to go back here and change the value of offset. Let's try and increase it. Yep, it's kind of working. It's covering up the edges, but also the blur is also now taking too much of space. So I'm going to go back here in the feather and I'm going to try and reduce it. And I'm going to find the sweet spot for this. All right, so I found the sweet spot. For the offset path, the value in this case for me is 5 pixels. And for the feather, it's at 4 pixels radius. And make sure that offset is above the feather, otherwise it won't make any sense. I'm going to zoom out and we can see as we examine them. Now in this one, right on the top, it's very sharp. In this one, this whole thing looks kind of blurry. But this one has its sweet sharpness, but it doesn't look sharp at all at the edges. And this is what makes it the best option to create that neomorphism effect in texts. And at the same time, it's also completely editable. You can go here in the layers and I've kind of locked them. I'm going to open them. And here you can see really that you can make changes whichever way you want. You can double click on it and you can write some other word. You can try and write smooth and kind of push it inwards and it's going to look the same. So at the end of it, I find this example to be just the perfect one since it's neither sharp at the edges and it definitely doesn't look blurry and messed up. And it's really kind of smooth just the way we want it. So I'm going to delete these two. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one. And I'm going to change the text and I'm going to write the word soft once again. Now keep in mind that when you will scale it, the value and the way it's the whole document setup might change and affect the value or the look of it, since we can readily see it's made it a little bit sharper once again, but it's still doable. So you have to keep in mind that every time you change the size of it, the font of it, the style of it, the way it gets blurry on the corners would get affected. So make sure that whatever you're trying to do, it applies to that particular example that you want to create and works perfectly well on your document. And with this, the tutorial is complete. Thank you so much, and I'll be back with one tutorial very soon. Take care and goodbye.